Tonight, TCI of Illinois presents the high school football game of the week, and this evening from Memorial Stadium in Elgin, an Upstate 8 conference game as the Elgin Larkin Royals take on the Streamwood Sabres. And you're looking at Memorial Stadium in Elgin, Illinois on a cool evening, but nevertheless a good night for a high school football game. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to week 4 of our high school football coverage on TCI. Bert Groner and John Cohn. And John, both of these schools, I think, really waiting to get at each other tonight. The Elgin Larkin Royals coming off a 42-6 loss to Waubonsie Valley. The Streamwood Sabres 30-8 winners. Even though the records are not that impressive, both of these teams really want to go at each other.
You know, it sounds almost cliche to say it, that the teams are better than their records, but I really think that's the case, and it should be an excellent game tonight. Streamwood, for example, 1-2, but 2 of their losses coming against Waubonsie Valley and Wheaton Warrenville, 2 of the top 5 teams in the state.
You mentioned Waubonsie Valley. Elgin Larkin lost to Waubonsie Valley 42-6 last week. Their only touchdown came late in the game. A key player for them tonight who will start, number 12, Pooh White, 83 yards on 14 carries against Waubonsie Valley. That was a great game.
Well, they had an outstanding game, and he's a great runner. Elgin Larkin, a very young team, only one returning starter, and it's this guy, Pooh White, who does it on both the defensive and offensive side. At 5'8", 215 pounds, he's got the classic size of a running back, very tough to bring down, and the Streamwood defense will have to watch him tonight.
We're going to get a look tonight at number 16, Damon McDaniel, who will start at the quarterback spot for Larkin. Young, only a sophomore. Johnny's thrown 7 interceptions this year. Not a knock against him, but you'd sort of expect a sophomore to throw 7 interceptions.
And it's very rare for a sophomore to be your starting quarterback, but that's the case for Elgin. He has struggled early. I think he's the key guy on the spot tonight for Larkin. McDaniel's got to have a good game, and Larkin thinks he can do it.
Streamwood 30-8 winners against East Aurora last week. That was a team that they should have beat, and they beat pretty handily.
That was a big win for them. They needed a victory after those tough first 2 games, and I think that can be a momentum builder for the Sabres.
Key player to look out for Streamwood, the running back, number 14, Walter Davis, as we're getting swamped by footballs here, John, but Walter Davis, 200-plus yards last week. That was a career game for him.
Well, after their first 2 losses, they needed a big game from somebody, and it was this guy, Walter Davis, who came through with big numbers. You mentioned the 200 yards. He also caught 3 passes for 70 yards. He's the key offensive guy, Walter Davis, big, strong, quick, tough to bring down.
And number 14, the quarterback tonight who will start, Michael Holte for the Streamwood Sabres. He's tossed for nearly 400 yards this year. He started 5 games last year on the sophomore team. Only a junior. He's going to get better.
That's right. Another young quarterback, so really a good matchup of 2 young quarterbacks. Holte coming in with some good momentum, was 9 of 14 last week, had a very good game, and I think both quarterbacks really are going to be on the spot tonight.
It is the Royals from Elgin Larkin against the Sabres of Streamwood. The opening kickoff 1 minute away. Stay with us.
Every 15 seconds, a woman in this country is beaten by her spouse or partner. I'm Aurelia Paczynski, clerk of the Circuit Court. Domestic violence crosses over all racial and economic lines. This order of protection pamphlet provides important information on how victims can protect their rights. You can obtain this pamphlet free of charge from a clerk's office domestic violence coordinator at any courthouse location, or you can call 312-443-4732.
It's tough.
I get embarrassed when I talk to my mother, ask her questions about sex, because I feel that she's assuming things. That's why I really don't hardly ever talk to her about it.
In a recent survey, the majority of Illinois teens say they haven't discussed sex with their parents as much as they'd like to. It's tough, but it's time to start talking. Parents Too Soon can help.
All right, we are back. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Elgin. Bert Groner and John Cohn. Our TCI crew is here tonight. Our director is Ken McCarthy. The Streamwood High School marching band out on the field. And we have the playing of our national anthem right now. marching band of our national anthem tonight. An Upstate 8 conference game here this evening. The Royals of Elgin Larkin 0-3 against the Sabres of Streamwood at 1-2. The Royals 0-3 in conference play. The Sabres, this will be their third conference game tonight. So from that standpoint, John, I think a little more at stake for Streamwood with a win tonight.
Well, I think both teams really need to come up with a big victory. Obviously, for Streamwood at 1-2, that would even up their record at 500, a little bit better chance. You get a look at the Elgin Larkin team coming out. We watched them in the warm-ups, and for an 0-3 team, they are not down at all. Very enthused, very psyched for tonight's game. The coaches have done a great job of getting them up. So, again, despite the records, looking for an excellent battle tonight between Streamwood and Elgin Larkin.
Oh, you brought up the coaches. Bob Krieger is the head coach at Elgin Larkin in his third year. He said of his team's loss last week, 42-6 to Waubonsee Valley, that it really wasn't mistakes last week. It was just the fact that they played a really good football team. Waubonsee Valley, currently ranked third in the state at the 6A level, and both teams, as a matter of fact, have played Waubonsee Valley this year. But Bob Krieger, in his third year, you can see his career record, and Dave Smiley, his entire career has been at Streamwood. And interestingly, that Bob Krieger was an assistant at one time to Dave Smiley at Streamwood. So as far as rivalries go tonight, I think there's a bit of a hidden rivalry between the two coaches in tonight's game.
That's right. Krieger, for 9 years, the defensive coach for the Streamwood Sabres. And I asked him what type of defense he plays. He says the stunting 4-3, and he also said you'll see Streamwood playing that exact same defense. So Dave Smiley, even though he lost Krieger, kept the same defense. So you're going to see some identical looking teams. Makes for some interesting strategy across the sidelines from each other.
Another interesting angle about tonight's game, this is the fourth week of the high school football season, but both of these schools were hurt last year because of the teacher strike in this district. Both schools missing 4 games. So really, John, the upperclassmen, the juniors and seniors, really with 4 less games under their belt than they might normally have.
Boy, and that's a big factor because in high school football, 4 games, half a season. So you're right, a lot of the last year's juniors missed some valuable playing time, had to hurt both teams. I think Elgin last year finishing with a record of 4-5, but 4 of those losses coming in the to forfeits. And there's a look at Dave Smiley, 13 seasons at Streamwood. You saw his record, 54-52. Back-to-back conference Upstate 8 championships in 88 and 89, and they're looking to get back there again this year.
Well, we're just moments away from the opening kickoff here tonight. Bob Krieger, he's the head coach at Elgin Larkin, his third year with the Royals. And he said his team for tonight's game, John alluded to earlier, the fact that they are ready to play. They are very focused for tonight's football game. He has made no bones about it. That they're not happy that they're 0-3, but they are focused for tonight's game, and that initially is a good sign.
Looks like the crowd is ready too. You got a good look at them. Not a full house, but a pretty good crowd. And as Bert mentioned on the pregame, weather-wise, it's cool. A perfect night for high school football. Friday night here at Elgin Stadium. The Elgin Larkin Royals and the Streamwood Sabres. And it looks like Elgin Larkin is going to go on offense first. Streamwood will be kicking off.
Sabres will kick off. Number 11, James Johnson, and number 26, Jeremy Treetop are the two deep men set for this kick. Some guys will use a single man, flanked by 2 deep guys. There's Joe Laudick who will do the kickoff, and he squibs this one. This will be Treetop. Treetop out near the 30, and he'll get to about the 33-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Royals.
Pretty good special teams hit. I'm not sure if it was that guy there, number 9. That's Joe Laudick. He was the kicker, but a good tackle down there. Streamwood going with that kind of mid-range squib kick that a lot of teams are doing now, trying to keep it away from the other team's best return man. And you'll get a look at the Sabre defense. It is a 4-3 stunting defense. Both defenses simulated after the Michigan State defense. 4-3, one that made Percy Snow and some of their other great linebackers so famous.
And there's the sophomore quarterback, McDaniel, for the Royals. First play from scrimmage. He hands to the second man through. That's White, Pooh White, out to the 40. Near the 45, maybe to the 46-yard line. He stayed in bounds. He's their feature back and a big gainer on first down.
And it's no secret who the key guy to stop tonight is, and that is Pooh White. And on the first play, he gets some great blocking on the left side of the line. There's Damon McDaniel calling the signals, but big pickup for the Larkin Royals. There's a give to the I-back, and he just outruns everybody, but really the offensive line on the left side cleared it out, and Pooh White picks up a big gain on the first play.
Jeremy Halfling is the center for the Royals here on first down and 10. And again, it's White. White still going. He picked up 7, close to 8 yards on that play before he was brought down by Rodolfo Reño of Streamwood. So White so far has been able to move the football. The Sabres, thus far this year, they have been giving up over 300 yards a game, and they have been susceptible to the rush on defense. So I think a good coaching move by Bob Krieger. He's elected to keep the football on the ground early, and he is saying, stop me if you can.
Both these teams have struggled really bad in the first 3 games defensively, and maybe the key to tonight's game is going to be which defense can come up strong first.
They gave White 8 yards on the play. 3rd carry in a row for Pooh, and he, I think, has a first down. Brought down by Rory O'Donnell, the linebacker. We'll hear Rory's name a lot this evening, an excellent linebacker for the Sabres.
O'Donnell will also play tight end on offense, one of the few two-way players in for tonight's game. There's a good look at the Larkin offense. You can see rush-oriented, also some success with the passing. So offensively, and particularly against Waubonsie, their head coach Bob Krieger said they moved the ball very well. The problem was they couldn't stop them on defense. So the Larkin offense has had some success this year.
They send Arturo Salinas wide right here. First down and 10 after that carry by White. For the Royals in white, Streamwood in black. Second man through that time is Perales. Joe Perales, who scored their only touchdown last week inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. It has been on the ground thus far for Elgin Larkin.
Right now they're beating him at the line of scrimmage. That offensive line for Elgin Larkin again. Coach Krieger said they did a great job last week against Waubonsie, over 200 yards on the ground. There you see the nice hole for Perales, who is mainly a blocking back, but still Bert has a 6 yards per game average, so they really have 2 good running backs back there, Pooh White and Joseph Perales. And the offensive line doing a nice job. Number 69, Joe Yakana, one of the key guys there. Matt Clark, number 76.
They're going to measure, and no indication yet as to if they picked up a first down. I think they're going to be a little short here. The referee tonight, while we have a minute, is Ron Jones. The umpire is Bob Powell. The linesman is Dick Schlee. The line judge is Wes Fritz, and the back judge is Kurt Fritz. And you can see about 6 inches short of a first down here.
Yeah, this is a good time. A lot of coaches will like to fake it. Second down, fake it in and go long. If they do pass the ball, Salinas probably the main man to look for. There you see the Streamwood defense. Boy, those numbers really come out at you. Rushing, they have given up 695 yards in 3 games, and that's the strength of the Larkin team. So the Streamwood defense on the spot tonight. They've got to find a way to stop the run.
They send Salinas wide left. White. White bounces off 2 or 3 tacklers. He's got a first down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Craig Wass, the tackle, made the stop.
Well, nothing fancy so far. It's the running of Perales and Pooh White behind a very effective offensive line. Streamwood defense trying to tighten up now. Ball just inside the 30.
Slot left is James Johnson. Salinas is wide left. Again, they go with the I formation. First down. And it's Pooh White. Pooh White down to the 25-yard line. Rodolfo Reño, 5'8", 220, a sophomore, making the stop. Boy, there are 3 sophomores on the Sabre roster, and both of these schools with a lot of underclassmen. There you can see average yards per game, Elgin Larkin, 200. But the Streamwood defense, 326, and numbers sometimes misleading, John. They've played, of their 3 teams this year, 2 of them have been very strong teams, so sometimes those numbers can lie a little bit.
Yeah, but just a little bit in this case. The Streamwood defense, very young. Not many returning starters from last year, and again, because of the strike last year, they didn't play a lot of games, but they have really struggled stopping anybody this year. Larkin maybe not as powerful as Waubonsie Valley, but right now they're moving well.
2nd and 6. A sneak. And McDaniel straight ahead. Went behind center that time, Jeremy Halfling, and he'll be still about 3.5 yards short of a first down.
Damon McDaniel, sophomore quarterback. Pretty good arm, also shows the ability to run. That time he took it up the middle, basically a little quarterback sneak. McDaniel also can roll out, has good mobility. 5'9", 170 pounds, only a sophomore, so good future for him with Elgin. 3rd and 5, pretty big play here.
Johnson is slot right. Salinas is wide right. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Roll out McDaniel, cutting it back toward the inside. 1st down, inside the 15, maybe down to the 14-yard line. He was brought down by Shamantil Nix, the cornerback.
And that, excuse me, Bert, that's exactly what we were talking about, that guy right there. Damon McDaniel has the ability to run. Big advantage when you got a quarterback that's that mobile. Very quick move to the outside. Larkin so far, nothing fancy, everything on the ground. The big thing they have to watch out for right now is the turnover. You make a great drive like this and lose the ball on a fumble or interception, and that has been a nemesis of theirs. I believe 5 fumbles alone last week.
This drive has started from their 29-yard line. Perales still going. Boy, what a great run by Perales. Perales.
Pooh White is a big back. Perales, 5'9", 190 pounds. So 2 pretty heavy running backs, tough to bring down. And you're exactly right. That was a great run. Broke 3 or 4 tackles and doesn't have the speed that a Pooh White has, but Joe Perales, normally a blocking back. We mentioned before, he's got a 6 yards per game average, and that was a heck of a run there as he dragged people with him.
2nd and 4 for a first down just inside the 10. They've moved the football 61 yards on the ground here, and they've used up almost half of the first quarter. Movement on the line. We'll have to see if the Sabres were drawn off.
Well, the eye back, Pooh White, might have moved also, so I think it's going to go against Larkin. We'll see.
We're going to get another look, and maybe we can spot on the line. Now, that was number 35, Jason Sims, that moved, and he will get called for encroachment there, so that'll give him a first down and goal. It wasn't drawn off at all. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
Keep an eye on that guy, Jason Sims, 5'5" and 150 pounds. That's right, 5'5", 150. And he plays on the defensive line and is one of Streamwood's top defenders. Number 35.
White. Flag is thrown. He gets down to the 2-yard line. Shamantil Nix with the stop, but there is a flag, and this will be holding against the Royals. So this will push him back.
That's a killer penalty. That was the best defensive play so far by Streamwood, as that time they were able to converge and stop White before he got too much of a head of steam going. Nix, number 5, doing a nice job on defense. I think we're going to get a look. Pooh White from his I formation. Kind of starts up the middle, then he heads left. Nice tackle right there, and I believe away from the ball. There was a holding call, and that's a big one against Elgin.
That'll push him back to the 15-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 15-yard line, and have to wait and see when their first pass is going to be. A young quarterback sometimes can tighten up if he hasn't thrown the ball as the game progresses. About 5:40 to go, first quarter, no score. There's Pooh White cutting it back to the inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line, so he got 8 of it back right there, brought down by Dom Fetta, who will play both sides of the line tonight, the linebacker in this case for Streamwood.
There's some interesting names on the Streamwood defense here.
I know.
Shamantil Nix, Dom Fetta. That was a nice tackle by number 44, and I think that was a good point. You mentioned McDaniel has not thrown it yet, and while their running game is working, it may make him tighten up once he decides to throw. Look at Dave Smiley, the head coach for Streamwood. Doesn't look all that pleased at this point.
Next week, we'll see Conant and Prospect. The Conant Cougars right now at 1-2 going into tonight's game. That'll be the first team in divisional play, a Mid-Suburban League North game. That'll be the first of 5 divisional games that those teams play. Conant coached by Dave Pendergast. They're playing Buffalo Grove tonight, losing to Frem last week. And the Prospect Knights, boy, they would really love to get their football program turned around, and they have to play at Palatine tonight. Palatine only averages about 475 yards a game.
That game should be rated R. Nobody under 17 allowed to watch. Palatine and Prospect. Prospect really struggling early this year. There's a look at the Larkin sidelines. A very nice drive, got all the way down to the 2-yard line, but the holding penalty has backed them up now, and it's a 2nd down and 7.
2nd and goal from the 7. Johnson is split right. Wide right is Salinas. So far, the Sabres haven't had their hands on the football tonight offensively. Young quarterback McDaniel. Nowhere. That was Perales. They went behind their right guard, and I think he was lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Now it'll bring up 3rd down.
Great job that time by the Streamwood defense. Looked like Chris Serba, number 45, the inside linebacker. We didn't talk about any defensive guys in the pregame, but probably the top defender for Streamwood. We mentioned Jason Sims on the defensive line, but Chris Serba, their inside linebacker, team captain, and that was a great hit that time. Number 44, Dom Feta, also in on the tackle.
Let's see if they go to the air here. McDaniel, 19 of 61 this season. On a roll. It's a pretty safe play for the sophomore. He'll be sacked. There's a flag. Dom Feta, the linebacker, sacked him. We'll wait and see what the initial indication is. Holding. So the Sabres should decline this penalty. That'll bring up 4th down.
What a great defensive play by number 44, Dom Feta, who really made 3 or 4 outstanding plays in a row. He just shot through the offensive line at Elgin. Damon McDaniel, before he had a shot to even look for a receiver, had number 44 right in his face.
A good read, and especially with a young quarterback, John, coaches, pretty safe play, a rollout right for a right-handed quarterback. Penalty, of course, declined, and I think for the sophomore, that was a good move to eat the football. There are the numbers on Dom Feta.
That's his running numbers, but right now it's been his defense that has been the key as Larkin drove all the way down the field. But Streamwood, led by that guy right there, Dom Feta, with some big stops, and looks like Larkin is going to go for the field goal. So either way, great job by the Sabre defense down inside the 10.
Ryan Johnson's kick is low. This will be no good. A 30-yard field goal attempt, so after moving the football 61 yards, pardon me, the Streamwood defense holds, and they will get the football 1st down and 10. There's a break in the action here at Memorial Stadium in Elgin. No score in this Upstate 8 game. We'll be back.
DMX.
And we are back. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Elgin. Bert Groner and John Cohn. The Sabres, after holding on defense, penalty flags were thrown. They may have taken too much time.
Good look at the call from the ref. And
encroachment.
Psychologically, that's really got to hurt Elgin Larkin. You make that great drive and get all the way down, and you can't put it in the end zone. You don't even come up with the field goal. So even though it's 0-0 right now, the momentum definitely for Streamwood, Elgin Larkin offense in particular, got to be a little bit frustrated after that last unsuccessful drive.
1st and 5, Holte, the junior quarterback. And they give it to Davis. Davis, who on our rosters were told was going to wear number 14, but he's wearing number 26 tonight. Walter Davis wears 26 for Streamwood, and he gets the ball and goes nowhere on 1st down.
Nowhere is right. He was met by that left side of the line. It was John Newcomb, number 55, who was the first guy in. He's a key guy to watch for their defense as well as on the offensive line. Number 55, Newcomb, but Larkin defense very strong on that first run. You know they're looking for number 26.
Charles Condon is the other running back. And Holte the pitch this time. That's Davis around to the outside 30, and he made a nice move before being brought down by Jeremy Treetop, the linebacker, and he was one move away from going right down the sideline.
Well, we mentioned these two teams are very similar. Coach coming from one staff to the other. This is almost the same play we saw Pooh White. Really basically a pitch out with everybody blocking on that side, and Streamwood does a great job of blocking down, creating a big hole. Davis with a nice cutback move right there. Nice trip-up tackle, too, by the Larkin cornerback, but a good pickup by number 26.
They pick up a first down. Botch play, I think a fumble on the play. The Royals say they have the football, and they do. The Royals have recovered the football. Pooh White on defense came up with the loose football.
Looked like Davis never got a handle on it. I think we're going to get a look at the replay, but turnover is going to be a big part of this game. We haven't talked about it much. Let's get a look. Might have been just a mishandled exchange. Looked like Davis thought he was going to go left, and Holte was handing off to the right, so somebody got mixed up. We're not sure if it was the quarterback or the running back, but I think that was the confusion that caused the bad exchange. Davis never getting a handle on it, and the first big turnover of the game goes for Elgin Larkin.
First down and 10, the ball on the 38-yard line. No score. White straight ahead. And White, boy, showing us what a powerful runner he is. Straight ahead, Dom Feta, the lead tackler on that play, and Pooh White will pick up 7 yards on first down.
Boy, you got a look at Pooh White right there. Built low to the ground with the wide, thick, strong legs. Very tough to tackle. We mentioned 5'8", 215, and more now you see the great running backs at that kind of size. Really, it's hard for the defensive guys to get down that low and tackle. Obviously has good strength and good balance.
Second down, about 4 yards to go. And they go to the air and they complete it. No, they went play action and pick up a first down.
Amara Krandianje, maybe? Number 80, the receiver. Not sure about the pronunciation, but we are sure about the execution by Damon McDaniel. Great play action faked. He looked very cool for a sophomore back there and hit his big receiver right over the middle, thread the needle pass. So nice job by number 16, McDaniel.
Pandienge.
That's what I said.
The tight end. First down and 10 from the 19. White.
Oh, ball popped loose. Yep, not sure. I don't think the refs had whistled it down, so that was a live ball. And McDaniel wide awake, the sophomore quarterback falling on the ball. The refs did not signal it down, so that could have been a Streamwood turnover. And with two young teams, Bert, turnovers might be the key to this game. Both teams have been plagued by it early on. Let's see when we get a look when he loses it.
There. Flew out of the pile, and McDaniel alertly
with two very young quarterbacks, the exchanges with their running backs so far not very good. And as we've mentioned, that's been a problem really for both teams all season long.
50 seconds for the first quarter. Second down and 10. White cutting it back inside the 10. A first down. Great run by Pooh. That's probably his best run of the night. Rory O'Donnell on the stop, and he got a great block by Perales. Perales, the fullback, blocking on the tackle, and that made the hole. Watch 44, Perales. Now he was blocked.
Boy, Pooh White taking the philosophy, I'm not going to waste any energy running left and right. I'm just going to go through people. That was a straight ahead fullback run, power run right up the middle.
First and goal from the 7-yard line. They bring Michael Holte in as a split end here from the I. 15 seconds for the first quarter. The Larkin Royals threatening here. White. Trip, nowhere to go. Jason Sims.
That was Jason Sims, number 35. You talk about a guy who uses quickness on the defensive line. Again, I'll mention his size, 5'5", and 150. He's listed in the program. Maybe he's grown a little bit since then. There's a good look. Jason Sims, and that time he just used his quickness to get in and make a big tackle.
We play one quarter here at Memorial Stadium in Elgin, an Upstate 8 game between the Elgin Larkin Royals, the Streamwood Sabres. No score. We'll be back.
Twice each year, near the end of June and the end of September, your cable service will be subject to sun outages. A sun outage occurs when the sun is in line with other space objects such as communication satellites, which are used for cable networks. This will cause your cable television reception to fade for just a few moments. TCI thought you should know about sun outages and how this natural event briefly affects your cable television reception.
Hi, I'm Mike Lederman, inviting you to watch North Shore Magazine here on cable. We'll feature the lifestyles, trends, places, and personalities that make up the North and Northwest suburbs, the greater North Shore. A new edition comes your way throughout each month, so watch for us right here on the TCI network. North Shore Magazine, now it's a TV show too.
We are back. Bert Groner and John Cohn as you look at the Sabres sidelines, the Sabre fans here.
Everybody loves the camera, huh? Pretty good crowd, though, and obviously, as you can see from that picture, a very enthusiastic crowd cheering on the black and gold. Love those uniforms for Streamwood. And it gives them the Pittsburgh Steelers look, and they hope to play like the Steelers of old, and I guess the Steelers of this year.
Second and goal from the 6-yard line. Behind center, Jeremy Halfling, Damon McDaniel, the quarterback. 1 for 1 throwing the football so far. White. And Pooh White picked up a couple. He got down to the 4-yard line. Time of possession tonight, the Royals have really controlled the clock tonight. The Sabres haven't had their hands on the football that much, mostly because of the fumble.
See Jason Sims, number 35. He's the defensive captain for Streamwood, but you mentioned the Larkin team controlling the ball, but when it gets inside the 10, suddenly it's a different Streamwood defense. Again, that time they made a great play, and Larkin struggling once they get inside the 10.
3 backs. White, and White is
great
snuffed.
Defensive play.
Rodolfo Reino, the sophomore, 5'8", 220.
Reino, Chris Serbo, number 55, and a host of others. Outstanding defense by Streamwood using the kind of the rubber band theory. They're bending tonight. They're bending big time, but they are not breaking. And now an interesting call coming up for Elgin Larkin. 4th and 5, ball on the 5-yard line. Let's see if they go for the field goal or if they go for the score. But it's got to be a frustrated Larkin offensive team right now. They're knocking on the door, but they can't get it in.
And they will go for it after the missed field goal attempt earlier. 4th and goal from the 5-yard line.
Gotta believe they're going to give the ball to Pooh White, number 12, but let's see if they go somewhere else.
That is Pooh White. Pooh White, no indication yet. And he'll be stopped short, I think. He is stopped short. I think they stopped him inside the 1-yard line, so the Sabres, the second time tonight, defensively, they have held.
Well, they went to their strength, and you can see by the Streamwood fans cheering that it did not work, and that's about as close as you could get. Pooh White with a hard run. Broke a couple of tackles, but he was down just inside the 1-yard line, just short of the goal line. And how about that, Bert? 2 great defensive stands by the Streamwood Sabres. That's what I call a quick start, huh? 45. Chris Zerba, who's doing a great job defensively. Zerba, the one who came up with the tackle, and that really was a great individual defensive effort. What a big play for Streamwood.
Condon, the upback, Davis, the tailback here. They're inside their own 1-yard line.
They may go back to their half the distance from the 6-foot line.
No.
No, it's going to be against Larkin. Looks like Streamwood players clapping. This could be as big a 5-yard penalty as you're going to see.
Well, that's what it is. They lined up in the neutral zone. Boy, that
gives them some breathing room.
Right, that is a gift right there if the Sabres do anything on the drive, and that possibly could give them a little momentum. They need 1 first down to really get out of deep territory here. 1st down and 5 after that. And this will push them back. There was a miss.
Holte, the junior quarterback, trying to mix up his cadence, doing a good job of faking the Larkin team. Let's see which way it goes this time.
That's what it was. That
might have faked out his own teammates, but you can see by his cadence call, he's trying to get them to jump off sides. Good look at number 12 there. Only a junior, only a part-time starter for the sophomore team last year.
Greg Wass, the center. move, but he moved, I think, on what he thought was the right count. 1st and 10. We're back to where they started from. Fumble.
He might have fumbled in the end zone. Larkin players look like they recovered it.
It's going to be a safety. He fumbled it in the end zone, so the Royals strike first with a safety.
And the Streamwood Sabre defensive coaches, as you can see, they're obviously upset. I think they were mad at the spot that the referees put the ball at, but no matter where the spot is, it's a mishandled snap by Michael Holte, and I think they're correct. You can see the Larkin players pretty excited about it, and safety it is, 2 points. And turnovers so far, nemesis for Streamwood. And there's the baseball-like score here early in the second quarter. Elgin Larkin on that safety takes a 2-0 lead. Streamwood now with one fumble that turned it over, and now a mishandled snap in the end zone that turned into a safety. So mistakes costly to Streamwood. They will get the choice now of punting it or kicking it. Most teams choose to punt it here. We'll see what Streamwood does. They'll be kicking from their 20-yard line, and I think we'll get another look at that play. Never got a handle on the ball.
And then he was hit. That was Robert Michelich, the lineman that made the hit, and then the football came loose.
Well, as you mentioned, the Streamwood defense being on the field a long time, again, they're going to have to set up and have to stop Larkin again. So
Joe Loddick with the punt. And they get it to the 45-yard line. Not a great kick. Dan Peschow on special teams on the return, but nevertheless, the Royals with excellent field position.
One of the big advantages of a safety, not only do you get the 2 points and you get the ball, the other team has to kick from the 20, not like the normal 40 from a kickoff. So you almost automatically get good field position. That's the case for Larkin. The ball on the Streamwood 45, 46-yard line right now, and it's got to be a tired Streamwood defense. How many big stops can they come up with?
9:20 to go, second quarter. McDaniel to Pooh White, and Pooh White with some running room into the secondary, bouncing with a first down. Dom Feta and John Hallmark in on the stop for Streamwood. Boy, Pooh White.
He is a load to bring down.
Yes, he is.
Good blocking again. Little up the middle run. White finds the hole and drags Dom Feta with him for about 10 extra yards. Number 44 in the black jersey just hanging on for dear life, but one guy alone not going to bring down big Pooh White.
Salinas is wide left this time. Split is Stolte. First down and 10 after that play. McDaniel straight drop, slant pattern, it's complete. Salinas, and Salinas with another first down.
They're going to call that ball down. He definitely fumbled after he hit the ground. I was just about to say that Larkin really has not put the ball up in the air. Good call this time. Everybody looking for the run. Art Salinas, I think we'll get a look on the replay. The wide receiver split to the left. Little three-step drop by McDaniel. McDaniel looks sharp so far. Sophomore quarterback put the ball right in the spot. There you see the pass. Little slant in. The ever-present Dom Feta in on the tackle, but a nice catch by Salinas. Nice throw by McDaniel.
McDaniel 2 for 2 tonight throwing the football, and they've actually tried to throw 3 times. He was sacked on one other occasion. White on a draw. Pooh White was waiting for his blocking to set up. Finally brought down by Kevin Crown.
Not so sure that the draw play fooled anybody there. They throw one pass. I don't think they're exactly keying on the pass at that point. They're still, everybody in the black jerseys looking for number 12.
It'll be 2nd and 8 from the 16-yard line.
Pretty good average right there, over 6 yards right now for Pooh White.
First man through is Perales. Perales, nice run. Boy, he dragged people with him, and he will be, from our vantage point, close to a first down.
And Joe Perales, the so-called blocking back, doing a pretty good job of running, doing his best Pooh White impersonation. You can see there, he also has an excellent average, 6.6. Part of that probably because they key on White so much, but Perales, as he's shown a couple of times, including that one, is really a strong runner inside. Not great speed, doesn't go left to right too much, just straight up ahead, but he's dragging people with him.
First down and goal from the 6-yard line. Amara Krandayeng is in as a tight end for Larkin.
And how many times have we called first and goal from the 6?
There's Pooh White on the carry. He'll be close to the goal line. Chris Zerba, the linebacker, making the stop.
This is the 3rd time now in as many tries that Larkin has got inside the 10-yard line, and you got to believe the Streamwood defense very tired right now. It would be pretty impressive if they could come up with another goal line stop.
Well, the
Picked up 4 on that one, so it's 2nd and 2.
Pardon me, John. The spot on the 2-yard line. Tough angle from up here. Spotted on the 2, so it's 2nd down and goal. 3 backs. White.
Touchdown.
And he is in. Touchdown, Pooh White, a 2-yard run.
You can see number 75 there on the offensive line just throw his hands up in the sky. Finally, after 3 times knocking on the door, Pooh White puts it in. Didn't get it by much, but crossed the line. His 2nd touchdown this season, 1st of the game, and Larkin strikes first. You mentioned, Bert, they went to the full house backfield. They got the offensive line tacked in tight. 2 blocking backs ahead of him, and Pooh White just powers it over. There you see the 2 blocking backs leading to the 5-hole. Good handoff by McDaniel. And he gets across the line. Great look from our TCI camera. Good replay there, and a good hard-nosed run by Pooh White behind some nice blocking.
The point after is good, so at the 5:45 mark of the 2nd quarter, we'll keep it right here. The Royals of Elgin Larkin lead Streamwood by the score of 9-0.
Well, Walter Davis coming off a 200-yard game last week. You got to think he's like a hot shooter in basketball. He wants to get the ball, but so far the Streamwood offense has hardly been on the field at all. We're already 6:15 into the 2nd quarter, or 6:15 left in the 2nd quarter, so Streamwood offense got to get the ball.
Going to get another look at the touchdown by Pooh White. A 2-yard run, as you saw Bob Krieger, and good blocking left side of the line.
A couple Sabre players came in there and knifed their way in, but White again not going down on the 1st and 2nd tackle. That was a big touchdown for Larkin, because if they would have got stopped there, I think they would have hit total frustration.
And Pooh will kick it off too. I wouldn't be surprised to see the ball explode one time, John.
He kicks, he plays defense.
And it goes out of bounds at the 4-yard line, so I'm sure the Sabres will have them re-kick here.
Well, I believe the high school rule now is you can re-kick or get the choice at what, the 35? If it goes out of bounds?
Well, they're going to spot it at the 35, so
Streamwood decides to take the position. Right now, here's a look at the Elgin Larkin scoring drive. 6 plays, 45 yards. It came after the safety. They got good field position after the punt. From the 45-yard line, they threw only 1 pass. A little slanting 15-yarder to Salinas. Outside of that, it was all running. And Pooh White on the touchdown.
Adam Zerfus, a good receiver, is wide right for the Sabres, who have not been on offense much tonight. Holt to the air, and that was deflected. Rafael Gutierrez got a hand on it, and that pass was intended to go over the middle.
Deflected and almost intercepted. Not a well-thrown ball by Michael Holte, and Streamwood very lucky that their defense wasn't right back on the field. Here's a look at the replay. Holt drops back in the pocket. The receiver is open. He just throws the ball a little bit too low. Who is that, 65?
That's Gutierrez, 66.
66.
2nd and 10. Long count. Davis to the outside. Pooh White bumped him, and that was enough to cause him to go down. He couldn't cut it back upfield.
Davis running a little bit tentative so far. Streamwood offense in general appears to be a little bit tentative. Maybe after their first 2 mistakes, they need to get it going here. And there's a look at the Streamwood offense, Elgin Larkin defense. That's a pretty even matchup. Larkin defense has really struggled this year. You can see they've given up 262 yards. And there's Davis. Looks like the footing, a little bit of trouble tonight. Few players have been slipping tonight, so rained pretty hard a couple of days ago. Field might still be wet.
Holt has it intercepted. Chris Rearson with the interception. There is a flag on the play. Rearson gets it down to about the 14-yard line, but there are flags.
And that's going to be a big penalty call, but what a great play by Chris Ryerson, the cornerback, number 44. Got the tipped ball, had the reactions to catch it, and then made a great run back up the field on the left side, but the Streamwood players appear to be pointing back. It might be a penalty against Larkin, wiping out the interception. Let's wait for the call.
Referee Ron Jones, and personal foul.
Roughing the passer?
Yes, it is.
Boy, tough call and a big break for the Streamwood offense. They will keep the ball.
Oh, watch Holt, number 12, and we'll see what happens to him. And oh, he was forearmed to the face.
Separate flags down on the play.
And it happened just as Holt came out of the picture on that replay, but he got a forearm to the face, and that a good call by referee Ron Jones.
And nullifies a great defensive play and return by Chris Ryerson. We should mention Ryerson starting in the place of Terrence Blaylock for Elgin Larkin. Larkin missing Blaylock on both the offensive and defensive end. He's usually one of their top wide receivers. Also, they're missing Ted Pito, their tight end. So a couple of key injuries for Elgin Larkin.
So Holt, number 12, at 5'11", 170-pound junior. So after the penalty, key penalty, first down and 10, they get it at the Royal 48-yard line. They trail 9-0. They went straight ahead to the fullback. That was Condon, Charles Condon, the sophomore.
Another sophomore playing a key position. Not only do we have a lot of sophomores in this game, Bert, they're not exactly like special teams player. We got one sophomore quarterback. We got another sophomore we just saw, Chuck Condon, starting fullback for Streamwood. So some young players playing some key roles in tonight's game. That was a good run by Condon.
And they split Mike Wozak to the right on 2nd down and 4. About 4 minutes to go in the second quarter here. Sabres down by 9. The pitch, Davis trying to set up his blockers. He goes to the outside, still going down to the 30-yard line, and he goes down to the 28-yard line. There's a good example of a running back trying to have his blockers set up for him, and that made the play.
Kind of watching two different styles of runners. Pooh White, the power back, has some speed too. Walter Davis, much different type runner. Watch him on the same pitch out play that White's been running. Good blocking in front of him. White, much more of a slashing, quick, elusive type runner. Nice cutback move there. Really faked out the defense. Gets a good block there. And then again, seems to be having trouble with his footing. He was not able to make the hard cut there and pick up some valuable yards downfield.
First down and 10, ball at the 28-yard line. Another mix-up between the quarterback and the fullback. Charles Condon with a good job of holding onto the football. The exchange between him and Holt, not that good.
Not sure what that play was designed to do, but I believe you're right. Mix-up, the correct word there. Larkin defense, the Elgin Larkin defense, we saw that stat a while ago. They've really struggled this season. So they're looking for a big game tonight. It's got to give them some confidence that there's 0 points on the board right now, midway or more than midway through the second quarter.
Second down, 9. Zerfus is left here for Streamwood. Play action, blitz is on. Holt will have to get rid of it in a hurry. Incomplete.
Great pass rush that time.
Art Salinas. The corner came on a blitz, and Holt had to get rid of it quicker than he wanted to.
Looked like Joe Yaucohana, too. So both Salinas and Yaucohana kind of sandwiching Michael Holte. And Holt so far struggling today. Get a look at the replay, and that's the best pass defense you can get, is a good pass rush. You can see Holt with very little time to throw the ball, and no receivers even near. Good pass rush.
3rd and 9. at the 28. Another blitz again. They want to set up a screenplay. Holte has it complete to Davis. Davis still going to the 20. Down inside the 10-yard line.
Great play by Streamwood, and we mentioned it was going to be an interesting battle of wits between the two coaches, and that time Dave Smiley, the veteran coach, the mentor, made the right call, or whoever called the play, because Elgin Larkin was sending everybody after Michael Holte, the quarterback, and Streamwood coming up with the perfect play. The screen pass to Walter Davis. It was set up beautifully. Right call for the right defense. There you see him swarming in from the left side. Holte drops it off. Good catch by Davis. And then he's got a lot of blockers in front of him. All he needed was one block.
Damian Collado with the stop right there on Davis. An equipment problem is corrected here, so first down and goal from the 9-yard line for the Sabres. 2:20 to go, second quarter. They trail 9-0. First man through is Condon. Condon touchdown. That was not a perfect exchange between the quarterback and Condon, but he is in on a 9-yard run for a touchdown.
And a straight ahead give to number 33, the young sophomore. He got a little bit of blocking, but most of it is on his own. He broke one tackle. Defender couldn't get the number for Elgin Larkin, was hanging on for dear life, but Condon would not be brought down. He busted loose and then was easy into the end zone. Let's get another look. Great balance that time. Took a couple of hits, stayed on his feet, only a sophomore. Charles Condon doing a great job for Streamwood. Make it 9-6. Let's see if they go for one or two. Dave Smiley. Not sure if they call the timeout. It looks like they're going to be going for a 2-point play. And they're picking out which one they want to go for. Interesting time to call a timeout.
Well, there's only 2 minutes to go in the second quarter, and they're not going to be able to use their timeouts. Can't save them, so he wants to make sure they get it right. Another look at the move by Condon.
Art Salinas, number 23, was the one who missed the tackle at the very end, but I think by then Condon had enough of a head of steam that he would have bowled his way in the end zone anyway. So Streamwood down 3, will go for 2. Dave Smiley, you saw the head coach on the field. Let's see what play he came up with.
Slot right is Feta. They've got 2 receivers in there. They put Rory O'Donnell in as a tight end to the left side of the formation. So they're going for 2. 9-6 football game in favor of Larkin. Quick count, rollout. Holte still going, and he's tackled.
Michael Holte rolling out on the extra point play. That play was worth 2 points, and you got to really credit the secondary coverage for Elgin Larkin. Holte had time. He was looking for his first receiver, had time to look for a second, could not find anybody open. So a great job of the defensive backs for Elgin Larkin, and they keep their 3-point lead. Nevertheless, though, a very nice, impressive offensive drive by Streamwood. And I believe it was done. They threw 2 passes, but I don't think they completed any, so all the yards gained were on the ground.
And the majority, overwhelming majority of the yardage tonight on the ground. So the run defenses of both teams not exactly stellar here tonight. Well, in 2 weeks, that should be a great football game. The Palatine Pirates, Jeff Hicklinski, who's thrown for 750-plus yards so far. Excellent defense against the Hersey Huskies at home. Hersey's defense has been very good this year. They're allowing about 160 yards a game, and they're getting 300-plus yards of offense. That'll be in 2 weeks.
Nice special teams play. That's Chuck Condon, number 33, the guy who scores the touchdown. He's no glory hog. He comes down on the special teams, and along with Dom Feta, number 44. Feta having a great game, but it was Condon who got the first hit. Big special teams play by number 33. Not bad. You score a touchdown and then come off back on the special teams and you make the big hit. So suddenly some good momentum for Streamwood. 1 minute, 57 seconds left. Let's see what Larkin offense, how liberal, how creative they get here. Let's see if they keep it on the ground.
From the eye they operate.
Don't forget, McDaniel, the sophomore quarterback, has thrown 8 interceptions this year, so they might be a little bit hesitant to put the ball up in the air.
Well, they go to the air on first down, going deep, not afraid to air it out, and that's complete.
Oh.
That's Rearson, Chris Rearson, with a 65-yard score.
I think that's Art Salinas, I believe.
Salinas, Art Salinas with a 65-yard score.
That's unbelievable. Just as I was saying, they might be hesitant to put the ball up in the air. Art Salinas, he's going nuts over there on the sidelines. Damon McDaniel drops back and just airs it out. No fake, no nothing. Three-step drop. You see the arm. That's only a sophomore putting it up there. The coverage was fine, but Art Salinas just beat out David Skibby for the ball. Great catch. The coverage was fine, but Salinas, their leading receiver, makes the great catch. And wow, what a big play for the Larkin Royals.
After the scoring drive by Streamwood, I stand corrected. That was Salinas. Point after is up. It is good. So a minute 29 left to go in the second quarter.
For all those coaches who like to sit on the lead, maybe take a look at that replay. 6, make it 7, quick points.
16-6 in favor of the Royals. We'll take a break and be back. All right, we are back. Bert Groner and John Cohn. Well, the Royals, Sabres fumble the football. Finally taken by Jason Sims, and Sims still going. Jason Sims.
Unbelievable. Jason Sims may break it all the way.
30, 20.
There are no flags down. And the guy who plays the defensive line, Jason Sims. And they're going nuts on the Streamwood sidelines. There's a look at Sims, 5'5", 150 pounds. He plays on the defensive line. That time he was back. He can barely stand up. He's so tired. How about this for the last 2 minutes of high school football?
And the return was muffed, and they weren't sure whether to down it or who was going to pick it up or who was going to run with it. And you'll watch number 35.
It was muffed badly here. 3 different guys fumbled, but as so happens so many times, when they do this, it destroys the coverage. Now the coverage guys for Larkin are all confused. They don't know what's going on. They kind of let up a little bit, and there goes, holy mackerel. 8 or 9 white jerseys there, and nobody even puts a body on Jason Sims. He's probably the most surprised guy in the world. And now he's off to the races. Larkin team on the sidelines just stands there in disbelief. Big play, back to back. And there is an injured player on the sidelines, but I'll tell you, when they show the films on Monday or Tuesday, Bert, when they look at that special teams tackling, I don't think they're going to be too happy about the way the Larkin coverage team played that one. And there's a good look at Jason Sims. Defensive team captain. Probably the smallest defensive lineman we'll see all season, but maybe their best defensive lineman. Tough, very quick, and that time he broke it on the special teams play.
There's an injured player out on the field. It is Larkin 16 and Streamwood 12. We'll be back.
Every 15 seconds, a woman in this country is beaten by her spouse or partner. I'm Aurelia Paczynski, clerk of the circuit court. Domestic violence crosses over all racial and economic lines. This order of protection pamphlet provides important information on how victims can protect their rights. You can obtain this pamphlet free of charge from a clerk's office domestic violence coordinator at any courthouse location, or you can call.
We're going for 2 points here, and Holt will be sacked.
Well, Streamwood
Joseph
struggling
Yokohana, pardon me, John, on the sack.
Struggling on their extra point plays. That's 2 successive 2-pointers that they really haven't come close to. This time they rolled out left, and again, nobody open. Good coverage by the Larkin secondary, but Jason Sims has taken all the steam out of what was a big scoring bomb from McDaniel to Salinas, and now the momentum back on the Streamwood sidelines, and I think the fans getting their money's worth of action here in this first half.
Now it was 9-6, and
it's Michael Holte, number 12, the quarterback, getting bandaged up by the trainer there. And Dave Smith didn't look a whole lot pleased with what's going on today. appears to be visibly upset. I'm not sure if there's been some breakdowns, but Smiley not living up to his last name at this point of the game.
I was going to say 9-6, and McDaniel, everybody thought that they would sit on the lead. They go to the air, and lots of scoring here in the last couple of minutes of the half here. On the return is Pechow. Pechow to the 37-yard line with 1:06 to go in the second quarter. Well, are they going to sit on this, or are they going to...
I'm not saying a word.
McDaniel does have a unique stance, too. Some players will keep both of their feet parallel to the ground, and he kind of stands as if he is going to option the football right away or take off with the football right away.
Very good point. A uniquely open stance, almost like a Jerome Walton type baseball stance as a football quarterback. Must be something that he prefers and his coach has been working with.
There's a sneak on first down. McDaniel straight ahead. Chris Zerba, the linebacker, on the stop, and the clock ticks with 40 seconds left, and the Sabres, I think, oh, the Royals have called a timeout. Well, they're close to midfield. They spend their first.
Interesting timeout call, and I think we're going to get a look at the running ability of quarterback Damon McDaniel. We saw his passing ability on his last play. This time straight up the middle behind the excellent blocking of Greg Wudge. No, I'm sorry. Greg is the center for the Streamwood team. He was behind the Larkin center. We'll get the number in a second, but good inside blocking, a nice run by McDaniel. Guy's only a sophomore. You can tell, especially from that last pass he threw. He's got a strong arm, pretty quick. He seems to handle the ball well on his handoffs. Maybe a little bit raw right now, but I think they're going to have a very fine quarterback for this season and the next two.
A little bit later on in the fourth quarter, we'll have our TCI of Illinois player of the game coming up, and I think at this point we're going to have our work cut out for us. I can think of half a dozen players right now, half a dozen candidates for that. 2nd and 4 after the sneak by McDaniel. Slipped for a moment. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, going deep, airs it out. Incomplete. Boy, good arm strength. He was intended for Michael Holte, the wide receiver. That's a pretty good throw to make when you're running left and a right-handed quarterback.
Good coverage by Streamwood, but you got to love the offensive philosophy of the Elgin Larkin Royals team. Be very easy. Most teams right now would just kind of be sitting on their lead, but Larkin, 33 seconds left. They're still back in their own zone. McDaniel drops back to pass. They're looking for the quick strike, so I'm sure the players enjoy that. Good offensive philosophy and nice blocking that time by the offensive line for Larkin. McDaniel had plenty of time. Good look at the strength of his arm, and he almost connected on that pass.
3rd down and 4. Perales and White are the two backs. Pooh White to the outside. Cross midfield, and he just levels two players. He gets it down to the 45-yard line.
Well,
I think
when
he
you
leveled
tackle
Chris
Pooh
Zerba.
White, I'm going to say, Bert, when you tackle Pooh White, you really feel it. That time he delivers the blow, and that's what you like to see a running back do. When you're about to get hit, you lower those shoulder pads, and instead of getting hit, you do the hitting. That's exactly what Pooh White does. We'll get a look in the replay.
And he gets a good block by Perales right there. Perales knocked Dom Fetta to the ground, and that was
great
a heck
collision
of a block.
right there. Another good look from our camera crew.
And the Royals spend their second timeout. Well, they got the first down, which was important. 25 seconds left, and they're still looking to add points on the board here. They lead by the score of 16-12. And we have been lucky, John, knock on wood. We've seen good games all year long. We saw a great game last week with Maine West and Glenbrook South, and tonight this almost like a mini college game in terms of the type of offensive plays we're seeing.
Had some great games, and contrary to last year, the weather has been beautiful for all the games too.
Knock on more wood. Fumble, and McDaniel. Backside pressure coming. I don't know if he sees it. He's leveled. Rory O'Donnell came from the backside, and McDaniel didn't see him coming, but he held on to the football, so this will just go as a sack.
McDaniel, number 16, is pretty quick, but it was great pursuit. You saw it from number 42, Rory O'Donnell. excellent player. We haven't called his name much, but number 42 for Streamwood makes the big play from the right side. The fumbled snap not helping. There comes McDaniel on the, O'Donnell on the chase. He makes the tackle with, again, Dom Fetta, I believe that was, number 44 on the assist. There you see Streamwood with 2 sacks, Larkin 0, so Streamwood getting some good pressure.
11.
Last 2 minutes, taking a lifetime here.
11 seconds left. There's Dave Smiley, the head coach at Streamwood.
And the way this is going, 11 seconds, we can get 5-6 more plays in.
Well, they might just line up tight and run the clock out here. They've got 2 downs to do it. Second and 23. Now they go to the air. Blitz is on. McDaniel sets up a screen. That's complete to White. White across the 45 to the 48-yard line. He stayed in bounds. And the clock runs out. So we played 2 interesting quarters here at Memorial Stadium in Elgin in this Upstate 8 battle between the Elgin Larkin Royals and the Streamwood Sabres. And the Royals lead 16-12 here at halftime. We'll be back. John Cone. Moments away from the start of the 3rd quarter, and this has been a ground game to say the least, John Cone. You look at the Royals, 16-12 leaders, and this game was kind of back and forth, particularly for the Royals, who controlled the overwhelming majority of the clock, but late in the 2nd quarter we saw both teams exchange touchdowns, and then the Royals scoring a late touchdown. So I think momentum-wise, as the 3rd quarter begins, I think the Royals have the momentum as we get set to start the 3rd quarter.
Get a look at the Streamwood team coming out of their locker room. Dave Smiley giving them their final instructions. Number 44, Dom Fetta, played a whale of a second half, or a whale of a first half. Coach Smiley talking to him there. The momentum may be in the Royals' favor, but it's not as strong as it would have been if Jason Sims would not have taken that kickoff and got a touchdown with it. That took a little bit of the momentum. You can see the Streamwood Sabre fans fired up. Beautiful Friday night for high school football. There's a look at the stats through the first half. Dominated, at least statistically, by the Elgin Larkin Royals. You can see the ball control, 232 yards, 124 rushing. Streamwood only 61. Really, they're rushing the passing, a lot of it coming on that one bomb from McDaniel to Salinas. So primarily it's been on the ground. That's the way they've controlled the ball. Some key penalties that have gone against Larkin help keep Streamwood in the game. Knocked out 1 interception by Chris Ryerson.
And 2 turnovers. The Sabres turning the ball over twice, one of which leading to a Royals score. So anybody's football game as we get set to start quarter number 3.
I think one statistic Bob Krieger, the Elgin Larkin coach, would be very happy with was that 0 that you saw a little bit earlier on the lower left-hand portion of the screen next to turnovers. That's been a big nemesis of Elgin Larkin through the first 3 games of the season. McDaniel alone has thrown 8 interceptions, but here in the first half, no turnovers for Elgin Larkin. There's the Sabres team decked out in their black and gold. Even though the game is in Elgin at Memorial Stadium here, it is a home game. This is where Streamwood plays their home games. Beautiful stadium. And finally a press box, Bert, where we can spread out a little bit here.
Yeah, it is nice to have some elbow room. Some of the high school facilities that we do work at, not.
I wore my rib pads today. Suffered an injury last week when you got a little excited and elbowed me, but I was listed as questionable for today's game.
Now there's Dom Fetta, number 44, who had a good first half, both sides of the line of scrimmage, and Dom especially defensively involved in several key tackles.
6'1", 200-pound senior. You saw his buddy Chris Zerba standing next to him. Zerba, number 45, the leading tackler for Streamwood. He also had an excellent game in the second half, and really, if it wasn't for the Streamwood defense, tightening up inside the 10-yard line, Larkin would have about a 3-touchdown lead, but the Sabre defense really did a good job in their goal line stands.
And we saw Dom a moment ago. He started at fullback last year. And this year, one of the linebackers, the Sabres really traditionally never with big linebackers. They seem to have small and quicker linebackers as you look at the average scoring in 1992. And
pretty even.
Now, pretty even, kind of misleading in a sense that both teams have played two really good schools. Both teams have faced Waubonsee Valley and gotten shellacked by Waubonsee Valley. The other team that Larkin faced that's really good was St. Charles.
Well, the Streamwood offense is going to get the ball, and really, you look back at the first half, Streamwood offensively did not get a chance to get on track. Michael Holte maybe threw 2 or 3 passes, and not very effectively in the first half. Walter Davis got a few runs in, but not a lot of momentum, not a real lot of chances for the Streamwood offense.
Pooh White squibs it, and I don't think he wanted to onside kick it. That was taken by one of the up men. Greg Wass came up with it at the 42-yard line. It did not look from here, John, like he wanted to onside kick it.
Not sure, but the end result was a pretty effective onside kick, and it caught the Streamwood player by surprise. His teammate next to him, Greg Wass, the center, outstanding offensive lineman for Streamwood, comes up with a heads-up play and dives on the ball.
16-12. The Royals in white lead the Sabres in black by 4. Just underway in the third quarter. Streamwood with good field position at their 42-yard line. Holt, the junior, the pitch. Davis to the outside, cutting it back inside, and he was level. John Newcomb, the linebacker, one of the heads. Damon Collado with the other.
Newcomb was the one who made the tackle, but it was Collado, number 77, who shot in almost uncontested and really broke up the pitch-out attempt by Walter Davis. And remember, Davis, the guy that gained 200 yards on the ground last week and really hasn't got a chance to get on. He's ran well this game, but hasn't really had a chance to get on track totally.
Mike Wozak is split left here. Second down, Condon.
Chuck Condon, the ball carrier. Tackled by number 12.
Condon was met again by Newcomb. It'll bring up
a 3rd and 6.
Nice little inside-outside threat Streamwood has. There's a look at the inside. The fullback, the sophomore, Charles Condon, pretty good stats. 4.7-yard average. He scored the only Streamwood touchdown today on that nice run straight up the middle. So Davis to the outside, Condon to the inside. Pretty good running punch for Streamwood.
Adam Zerfus is split left. He has been quiet tonight. They have not gotten the ball to him. He is a dangerous receiver. To the air, Holt. Lots of time, good protection over the middle on a post. Incomplete. That was intended for O'Donnell, the tight end. O'Donnell can play both sides, and he lined up as a tight end.
That's a pass to Rory O'Donnell, the guy you're looking at right there, number 42. He will make that catch 9 out of 10 times. A good play-action fake. You'll get a look on the replay. Good fake here, stop the line rush, and a great pass by Michael Holt. He puts this ball right in the spot, right through the hands of Rory O'Donnell, the excellent tight end for Streamwood. So tough break, nice pass, and a good call by the Streamwood offense.
Sabres have to punt it away. Joe Laudick, a good punter. He's averaging about 34 yards a kick. Booms this one out of bounds. I think they'll spot it at the 31 or 32-yard line. Oh, the Royals. That was a big no catch there.
3 plays and out for the Streamwood offense. So again, they're having trouble getting any kind of momentum going. They did have the one nice drive in the first half that was finished by the Condon touchdown. But now it'll be the familiar Streamwood defense against the Elgin Larkin offense. We've seen this matchup a lot in the first half.
First and 10. Salinas, who has a touchdown in the game, is wide right. Pooh White. And they were expecting Pooh White to get it. Dom Fetta, the linebacker with the stop. He has had a good game at linebacker.
Fetta up top, and it was little Jason Sims, number 35. Forget about his size. This guy's an excellent defensive lineman. Sims, number 35, also in on the tackle. Look at Pooh White's stats. A lot of attempts. He plays on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. 17 runs already. Will he get tired as the game gets in its final stretches? But great defensive play to open up the second half by Streamwood, Fetta, and Sims.
Stolte and Salinas both go right here. 2nd down and 10. White with the blocker, cutting it back toward the inside. Nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. Rory O'Donnell, the linebacker, in on the stop for Streamwood.
And credit the Streamwood defensive coaches. They've made some nice adjustments at halftime. Maybe picked up the line blocking scheme. The offensive line for Larkin did a good job in the first half, but Streamwood defense appears to have figured out the Pooh White running game, at least these first 2 plays. Now let's see if the young sophomore McDaniel puts it up on 3rd down, and this is where he's had trouble all season long with the interception, so he's got to be careful not to make the turnover.
Amara Krandi-Yang is the tight end to the left side of the formation. 8:40 to go in the 3rd. Royals up by 4 to the air. Blitz is on. Incomplete. He was intending to hit Panda Yang, and the pressure forced him to get rid of it too soon.
And he probably needed, after the fake, to drop back a couple more steps. A little bit of the inexperience of the young sophomore there. That ball was pretty much thrown away or thrown up for grabs. So both defenses, which have struggled this season, coming up with good defensive stops in the first series of the second half.
Pooh White is in to punt, a dangerous man to have back there kicking the football. This kick will come from about his 24. High kick, not a long kick. Davis at the 40, 45. About a 6-yard return. John Newcomb with a good tackle on Davis.
Great coverage on both sides of the ball for the special teams tonight. Some really hard tackles, and that was Pooh White, the punter. We've seen Pooh White kick, we've seen him run the ball, and he also plays inside linebacker on defense, so talk about an all-purpose man. He looks like he's good at all 4 of them.
Streamwood takes over at their own 45-yard line with the 1st and 10.
Wozak wide left for the Sabres. 1st down and 10. Good field position for him at the 44. Condon, first man through. Still going. Condon, the sophomore, across midfield down to the 49-yard line. And a nice run by the sophomore.
Well, number 33 is going to be a familiar sight for the next couple of years for the Streamwood fans to watch. Obviously a very talented runner. This year he'll take the secondary role behind Walter Davis, but he soon will be the star of this Streamwood team. Great run here, good blocking. Again, the footing, this grass obviously wet, breaks a tackle, just flat out breaks the tackle that time. Picks up some extra yards. Condon, very impressive running inside so far for Streamwood.
Wozak is split, Zerfus is wide. Option play. Davis. He got the football at the last possible second, went out of bounds near the 40.
Well, it worked for some yards, but that was one of the uglier looking option plays you're going to see. Maybe a little bit of a mix-up, not great spacing between Davis and Holt, but somehow he got rid of that ball before getting tackled, and they actually picked up some yards on it.
And a 1st down. They move the chains, 42-yard line.
Boy, the passes in this game have been few and far between. Both teams using the pass only as an occasional diversion.
Davis into the secondary. Davis still going inside the 30 to the 29.
Big run up the middle by Walter Davis, number 26. Looks like he's finally starting to get on track. Streamwood Sabre offense on the move. And you see Davis, whereas Pooh White, get a look at him right there, number 12, where he barrels over people. Davis, very elusive, avoids contact at all costs. Slashing type runner, doesn't like to get hit, and has great speed to the open field.
Just inside the 30-yard line.
7-yard average, so a good game for Walter again.
1st down and 10. Holt. Incomplete. Intended for Zerfus. Adam Zerfus, 4 catches last week for 72 yards and a touchdown. Not a lot of speed, but they say he runs terrific routes, and they have been unable to get him the ball tonight.
Terrific routes and good hands. Able to run with the ball after he catches it, but you're right, so far pretty much a non-factor tonight.
2nd and 10. Zerfus is split right here. Davis. Still going. Good ankle tackle. Art Salinas, steady on both sides of the line, tackled him at the 24.
And if Salinas doesn't make that tackle, Walter Davis might have been off to the races. The officials appear to be talking over something. Don't see any flags down, but maybe there was a penalty, but I think we'll get a look at the run here. Walter Davis starting to run very well, and you'll watch at the end of this, the tackle by number 23, Salinas, really saves the touchdown. Another good run by Davis. Well, he makes that little side cutback move. There you see the nice tackle by the cornerback, Art Salinas. Might have been a late hit. That might have been the call. But no, they're bringing it back against Streamwood. And that's going to be a major penalty. Let's see what the call is. Yeah, might have been a holding call. You could see the Streamwood coaches there on the sidelines not all that pleased with that call. Took away a good run by Walter Davis. And now they got 3rd and long yardage to go, but the refs will talk about it again.
3rd and 20.
Referee shakes his head. Everything appears to be okay. Walter Davis, you can see he's ready to go. 3rd and long. Let's see if they have Michael Holte put the ball up in the air.
He is going to the air. Good protection. Airing it out deep for O'Donnell. Complete. O'Donnell down to the 15-yard line with a 1st down, and that was a catch. He did make a tough catch, but Rory O'Donnell with the completion.
Well, I said before, when he missed the other one, you won't see Rory O'Donnell miss many of those. This one, the alley-oop pass, basically just thrown up in the air, and Rory O'Donnell, number 42, comes up with it. Here's Holt dropping back to pass. Straight over the middle, and look at the loft in this ball. Basically floats it up to his big, tall tight end, and it's a great pass over the outstretched arms of number 40, Michael Stolt. Great catch by Rory O'Donnell.
From the 11, they can technically get down to the 1 for a 1st down. Davis cutting it back. Now to the outside. Davis tripped up. A great play by James Johnson, the safety who bumped Davis enough to down him thinking about the 3 or the 4-yard line.
But nevertheless, a beautiful run by Walter Davis as he broke one tackle there and picked up valuable yards to the left side. And Streamwood, despite the penalty, a major penalty that went against him, very impressive drive here in their 2nd series of the 2nd half, and they're knocking on the door, about to take the lead. Elgin Larkin defense now on the spot. They've got to come up with a stop.
16-12 in favor of the Royals. This is at the 4-yard line. They can get 3 for a 1st down. Condon. Touchdown.
2nd time in a row for that guy, number 33. Walter Davis does all the running in midfield, and Chuck Condon finishes him off. The young sophomore with his 2nd touchdown and a very impressive drive by the Streamwood Sabres. Let's get a look on the replay. Pretty much a straight inside run. I'll tell you what, that's a great run because Condon had to readjust where that hole was, and he was able to stop on the dime and cut back. I'll tell you what, pretty impressive for a sophomore is Chuck Condon.
18-16, interesting call here. They go for 2. Rolling is Holt, incomplete.
Coach Dave Smiley is going to have to go back to the playbook for some 2-point plays. That's 0 for 3 in their 2-pointers, and that's costing them right now. But that's the lead that they have right now. Streamwood, after that impressive drive, the home team taking the lead 18-16. Rory O'Donnell's catch on 3rd and long, the big play of that drive.
A 2-point game, that conversion pass intended for Jason Sims. Incomplete, so the Sabres with their 1st lead of the night. And now the Royals will be faced with a little adversity here. Down by 2 points. We'll see how their sophomore reacts. We'll get another look at this 2-point play. Watch the roll. That was the touchdown. The touchdown by Condon.
44 yards total. I'm sorry, 56 yards total.
Pretty impressive drive, and I'll tell you, Michael Holt, the quarterback, has struggled. It has not been one of his best nights, but on 3rd and long, he came up with a great touch pass just over the outstretched arms of the defender to Rory O'Donnell, and that was the big play of the game so far.
On one bounce, that's taken by Pechow. Pechow, good special teams coverage that time. Condon and a couple of other Sabres in on the stop, and they appear to be fired up, about the most fired up we've seen them tonight.
Well, no problem so far with the Streamwood Sabre kickoff coverage team, as they have been down there and not only tackling the runner, they're really getting in some hard licks. So now the pressure on Damon McDaniel, the young sophomore quarterback, Pooh White and company on the Larkin offense, as they suddenly, for the first time this game, find themselves down.
They're down by 2, under 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Perales and Pooh White are the two backs. Perales is the up back. McDaniel on first down. Complete in the flat. He's got Stolte. Stolte gets across the 40 to about the 45-yard line, and he went out of bounds.
Good run by Michael Stolte. Caught the ball and broke a tackle. Missed tackle over there on the sidelines. Picked up some nice yards. And it was Stolte who was the one who just missed the pass on the Rory O'Donnell catch. And there's a good look at a complete scoring drive by Streamwood. 8 plays, 56 yards, very impressive. The running of Walter Davis, and then the touchdown run by Chuck Condon. Nothing wrong with McDaniel's arm, that's for sure. And there's the missed tackle and the good pickup by Stolte after the catch.
Ball on the 46, first down 10. White.
White, the ball carrier.
In some traffic. Rodolfo Reino. Boy, Reino only a sophomore. And he will be one of the better players, I'm sure, next year. I think a definite candidate for all-conference material next year.
Yeah, like we said earlier, the sophomores that are playing in this game, it's unique to see sophomores, period, but the ones that are playing are good ones. We're seeing some future stars in this game tonight.
They gave White 3 on that play, so this is second down and 7. White fumbled it, loose football, and Pooh was alert enough to cover it up himself. They'll lose yardage. But he was lucky the ball bounced right up to him.
Boy, lucky is the right word. Turnovers, which have plagued Elgin Larkin all season long, almost that time. This time, the ball bounced right back in the hands of Pooh White. You see the miss, Dom White having a chance at it. He kind of got knocked into Chris Zerba, his teammate, and White with a big play coming up with his own fumble. And now, possible passing situation for the sophomore Damon McDaniel.
3rd and 8. Salinas is wide. And Stolte also goes to the right here. We're under 3 minutes for the third. White to the outside. Close to a first down. But
different formation, and the first time we've seen that call. A quick pitch with the man in motion. Good call by Elgin Larkin. Pooh White picks up nice yardage on the right side. I believe he's going to be just short. We're going to have a measurement, but Bob Krieger, see him there on the sidelines. Nice call for Larkin and a good pickup by White. Even if they're short, they got a great chance of making it now on 4th down, as it'll be real close.
Sophomore score. The Royals trying to pull off a sweep here tonight. The sophomores winning 22-14.
Game was tied 14-14 going into the 4th quarter, and Larkin scored the big touchdown late.
On Monday at 5 o'clock, Tuesday at 7 o'clock, and at Thursday at 1:30.
Half a yard, would you say?
About a foot.
Pretty close. I don't think there'll be much of a decision here. Elgin Larkin down 2. A lot of options here. Damon McDaniel's gone to the quarterback sneak a couple times. That might be the call. You know the Streamwood defense is going to be keying on number 12, Pooh White, wherever he goes. So 2:28 left in the 3rd quarter. 4th down and short for Larkin, trailing by 2. Big play.
Perales and Pooh White are the two backs. Perales, the fullback, get it. He bounced off one tackle. I think the second effort is going to get him a first down.
Boy, and if he picks up the first down, that's going to be about as good a half a yard run as you're ever going to see. Let's wait for the measurement, and he did pick up the first down. 44, Joe Perales. You talk about unsung heroes, that's the guy right there, as he was leveled by the Streamwood defense. Couple guys came in untouched and hit him hard. Most guys would have gone down right away. Perales, though, knew where the first down mark was and picked it up. That's a great play.
First down and 10, 43-yard line. They're in Sabre territory. They trail by 2 points, 18-16, and we're under 2 minutes for the third. Straight drop. McDaniel incomplete. Now Salinas. A ball I think he should have caught. Maybe he heard footsteps, but incomplete, and that will stop the clock with 1:51 to go in the third.
You can see Salinas not too happy with himself. Nice job. He came up to McDaniel and apologized to him. They don't let McDaniel drop back very deep. Almost all of his passes off the three-step drop, and that was a perfect one. Salinas just took his eyes off the ball.
Second and 10. To the air, going deep, loops this downfield, incomplete. Intended for Stolte. Covered by Shimon Teal Nix, the safety, and they're trying to stretch the defense a little bit.
And that's where Damon McDaniel still struggles a little bit in reading that defensive coverage, as Nix, the safety, was on that side, so that's probably a pass that should not have been thrown, as they really had double zone coverage over there. One guy in front, one guy in back, and that's one of those ones that can get picked off pretty easy. So McDaniel's got the arm, has the running ability. He just needs to read the defenses a little bit better, and he will be an outstanding quarterback for Elgin Larkin.
Third and 10, Salinas is wide left. Flags are thrown. Maybe they took too much time. Yes, they did.
Third and 10 becomes third and 15, and slowly but surely this game, the Streamwood Sabres, the home team, starting to look like they are in control of this game, as Larkin with an 0-3 record. Starting, you can almost get the feeling that it's going down a little bit here in this second half. They need someone to come up with a big play. Usually, that someone for them is Pooh White. But they're struggling right now.
Same formation. Perales is lined up as a slot here. Blitz is on, and McDaniel sacked. Rodolfo Reino, the sophomore, along with O'Donnell, came on a blitz, sacked McDaniel, and this will bring up fourth down, and they'll have to punt.
And we get an injured player down for Streamwood, but what a big defensive play. They sent everybody. Gutsy call by the defensive coaches for Streamwood, and it pays off. Get a look at the replay here. McDaniel, who with his great quickness really sets back up in the pocket very quickly. See the injured player down. We'll get the number as soon as we can get it. But a great pass rush led by that guy you mentioned, Rodolfo Reino. And I'll tell you, Reino and Chuck Condon, two pretty impressive sophomores for Streamwood. And they get another sophomore we haven't called much, but he's number 79 on the offensive line. Bryant, I'm going to guess on the last name, or try the last name, I should say. Cobarrubias, 6'3", 290 on the offensive line. So three sophomores starting and playing key roles for Streamwood.
I've got the glasses out. Close to midfield, hard to tell who that is. It might be.
Could be Reino?
Could be Reino that's down. I don't see a 66 on the sidelines. Oh, well, there's Rodolfo. Well, it's not him.
See Feta, we see Serba up there, so it looks like maybe one of those inside defensive linemen. Hopefully not a serious one.
Tony Castillo, an interior lineman, being helped off the field. He was favoring his right knee, and they will take a look at him on the bench. 4th and 21. Royals have to punt. High snap, and Pooh Larkin with a boomer. Got good hang time, taken by Zerfus. Adam Zerfus with speed. Out to the 45, out of bounds at the 46. He is still in Sabre territory. If he can turn loose, he's got really good speed, but nevertheless they have good field position.
Very good return by Zerfus, and the momentum, while it was with Larkin in the first half, clearly has switched to the Streamwood side. Fans, the players all into it right now, and it's up to the Elgin Larkin defense, someone to come up with a big play, because right now Streamwood's got it all going.
1:15 for quarter number 3. The Sabres with the ball lead at 18-16. Condon to the outside. And a great tackle made by Pooh White. Pooh White just grabbed him by the jersey.
Chuck Condon probably wondering where are those tearaway jerseys when you need them, because if it's not for a jersey hang-on tackle by Pooh White, Condon picks up even bigger yards, but number 33 may be coming into his own tonight as a runner for Streamwood, and that'll give him a nice 1-2 punch. You get Michael Holte throwing the ball, and suddenly the Streamwood offense looks pretty potent.
Under a minute for the third. Wozak is wide right. Zerfus is left. That's Zerfus in motion. The pitch, Davis. Davis, nice cutback move to the inside. Still going, Davis inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line. Boy, Pooh White had Walter Davis dead to right, and now there was a fumble on the play. Flags are thrown.
And we got a fight out here, something we do not normally see in the high school game. But a couple players away from the ball really going at it. You see Rainio, number 66, coaches doing a good job of getting out there quickly and getting their players away. Really not sure what started it. Separated pretty quickly. That's one of the few in the years we've been doing these games, Bert. That's probably the first time we've really seen the players come off the field for a scuffle like that. Very rare in high school football. And again, a great job of the coaches of separate them quickly, and now they'll get an explanation. Don't forget Bob Krieger right there, served on Dave Smiley's staff. 9 years, was the defensive coordinator. And I believe that was the player who was in the center of the controversy. Assistant coach for Streamwood is yelling at his players, firing them up, but also
I'll get another look at
reminding them to keep the thing in perspective. That was a great run by Walter Davis, unfortunately. Because of the controversy that ensued, everybody forgot about the nice run by Davis. The referee's talking it over here.
I would bet we'll see some players kicked out of the game here. Dave Smiley talking with referee Ron Jones.
Well, if nothing else, that is going to fire up both teams. You can see the players now, the adrenaline flowing double time right now. It got the fans on both sides in the game. It got Michael Holte, number 12, the quarterback. He's fired up into the game, so this should be an interesting fourth quarter coming up. And this break in the action, the delay, might stall a little bit of the momentum that Streamwood had. Dave Smiley trying to figure out what's going on. He wants the game to get going. They had a nice drive going, and Walter Davis and Condon were running. And Smiley has not been happy all night tonight. And they may have ejected Michael Holte from the game, and look, I don't know if it's an injury or an ejection, but I believe we're going to see a new quarterback for Streamwood, and maybe that's why Dave Smiley not happy about it.
Penalty on the play, personal foul against the Royals, personal foul against the Sabres.
Offsetting personal foul penalties.
The play will count, and 2 players are ejected.
And I couldn't quite tell if they said players were ejected or not. That was hard to pick up.
I believe the PA announcer said that both players were ejected. Dave Smiley trying to settle his troops down.
administration of that penalty. Both penalties were enforced 15 directions one way and then back.
Now, the penalty was against Larkin, but Davis's run went beyond where the ball was being marked. I'm not quite sure why the run would not count. They could not decline the penalty. Or is it offsetting penalties?
I think it is offsetting.
That's what it is. So the play will come back and it will nullify a great run by Davis.
First down and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to football here, I think.
There is a new quarterback in for Streamwood. That is Dave Skibb.
All right, the word we are getting is that, at least as the best we could tell, the quarterback, Michael Holte, was hit after the pitch out, maybe a late hit, and he did not like the hit from the defensive player, and that's where the scuffle occurred. So we'll see if we can get a better details of that, but both the players, I believe, ejected from the game, and the new quarterback is who?
David Skibb. Or
So
is it Skibby, the senior?
Instant pressure on the untested senior quarterback, David Skibby. He'll be the man on the spot now. They got a couple of hot running backs. Condon and Davis were really running well. Let's see if they can keep it going.
First down and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Now, and Chuck Condon, I think both teams now, the adrenaline going so quick, it's going to be tough to play right now. Condon, the sophomore, just jumped off sides.
Well, Robert Michelich, the lineman, jumped.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, we're going to get a look at the replay here, and keep your eyes on the upper left-hand corner of the screen and see if we can catch the late hit on the quarterback after the pitch out. Good look.
Yeah.
He did get busted. So did Davis. Excellent call there. And that, I believe, is what started the scuffle. Michael Holte not liking that late hit after the pitch out.
First and 5 for Skibb. Davis. And a good tackle made by Newcomb. John Newcomb, the linebacker, probably one of, if not the most steady player tonight on defense at that spot.
Newcomb, a good two-way player for Elgin Larkin. It had a good game tonight. And the exchanges now with the new quarterback, you got to believe Davis and Condon used to getting that ball from Holte. Now they have to get used to it from Skibby. Not a major difference, but somehow a little bit in your timing can throw you off, and that time they appeared a little bit tentative on that run.
And they spend a timeout. Well, that will end the quarter, pardon me. We have played 3 quarters here at Memorial Field in Elgin. The Sabres lead the Royals by the score of 18-16. We'll be back.
Every 15 seconds, a woman in this country is beaten by her spouse or partner. I'm Aurelia Paczynski, clerk of the circuit court. Domestic violence crosses over all racial and economic lines. This order of protection pamphlet provides important information on how victims can protect their rights. You can obtain this pamphlet free of charge from a clerk's office domestic violence coordinator at any courthouse location, or you can call 312-443-4732.
It's tough.
I get embarrassed when I talk to my mother, ask her questions about sex, because I feel that she's assuming things. That's why I really don't hardly ever talk to her about it.
In a recent survey, the majority of Illinois teens say they haven't discussed sex with their parents as much as they'd like to. It's tough, but it's time to start talking. Parents Too Soon can help.
All right, we are back. Bert Groner and John Cohn back at Memorial Field in Elgin. Things really heating up here. And a couple of key players kicked out of the game. Number 77, Damian Collado, was tossed out. He was the one that delivered the blow. to the quarterback, Michael Holte. Michael Holte also was kicked out of the football game, so 2 players ejected, and David Skibby, that is the correct pronunciation of his name, David Skibby, the senior backup quarterback, 5'9", 145, is in.
Official timeout.
This will be the first play of the 4th quarter. And we get an official's timeout.
Kind of a wild and wacky game here tonight. We've seen it all. Expected a good game, and it has been that. Elgin Larkin controlling the first half. Streamwood controlling the second half, at least the 3rd quarter anyways. And right now the home Sabres up 2 points, and we're looking for a pretty exciting 4th quarter. And the guy who is on the spot right now is that man right there, David Skibby, number 6. The senior backup quarterback suddenly put in the ball game as Michael Holte, the starting quarterback, gets thrown out. So Skibby will be directing the Sabre offense.
2nd down and 4 from the 28-yard line. And they keep it on the ground.
Chuck Condon with the run.
Believe that was Condon. Yes, it was. Condon's slow to get up. Boy, if you drag 5 or 6 people, you'd be slow to get up, too.
He knew exactly where that first down marker was. I think he's a little bit short, but you talk about a guy having a nose for where the line is. Chuck Condon, not that big, but he dragged about 5 guys literally hanging on to him. An impressive performance, 5'10", 185, so he's got pretty good size. You know he's going to grow some. He's going to be a super running back for Streamwood. This is his best game of the season. The Sabres with a mix-up now, and they will have to use a timeout, and that's a tough one. Dave Smiley very mad. He's yelling at somebody as he comes out. I'm not sure if he's mad at the refs or the players, but I guess looks like he's mad at his backup quarterback, maybe not aware of the time enough.
Well, Skibby, the senior, is in, and we have not seen him today, and he had brought in Darian Ditzler in, who now checks out. So he had a play in mind, and now he's going to change that play as 2 key people come in. He brings Feta and Zerba in on 3rd and less than a yard.
Well, they might be in as blocking backs, maybe. This might be a run to Walter Davis with those guys blocking. See the defensive coordinator for Elgin Larkin talking to his troops. Really, after the fight here with the quarter break and all the breaks in the action, the game has really come to a kind of a halt here. Still 11:20 left in the 4th quarter, so plenty of time. 3rd and 1, so big play.
Less than a yard. Skibby to Davis. Davis still going. Nice run. He gets down close to the 20-yard line. Jeremy Treatup, the linebacker, in on the stop for the Royals, and they will move the chains.
Sabres will have a 1st down at
Well, that was a special play. You see 44 and 45 coming off.
tackle on the play by White.
Looked like they were inserted for that short yardage situation. Good call by Dave Smiley. And now he brings Surface and number 34, that is Michael Wojak, in back as receivers.
Ball on the 20. Sabres may have taken too much time, and that's a false start. That's against the offense.
Bring up a 1st and 15.
Now you bring a new quarterback in, and sometimes the cadence will change. Sometimes it takes the quarterback a few plays to get a feel for the game, and they pick up a penalty. And now Ditzler, Darian Ditzler comes in. He'll line up split to the right side here on 1st down and 15.
Boy, and before that fight occurred, the Streamwood offense was just marching down the field, getting good, strong running, but right now they've kind of come to a halt as momentum has been stopped a little bit.
Condon had to go wide. Terrence.
Tackle by number 12 for the Royals.
Pardon me, that was Treatup, Jeremy Treatup, in on the stop.
Well, we'll see if Dave Smiley lets his backup quarterback Skibby put the ball up in the air. Number 34, Wojak, bringing Wolczak bringing the play in. Let's see what the call is. Lined up behind their outstanding center, number 55, Greg Watts, having a great game.
Under 10 minutes for the fourth quarter. It's still a 2-point Sabre lead. The pitch to Davis, to the outside, down to the 20, down to the 18-yard line. Joe Yokohama with a nice tackle on Davis, and that was a good run.
Good pickup. The first half belonged to Pooh White. The second half, it's been that guy, number 26, Walter Davis, has been doing some outstanding running. Really, we're having a reversal of roles here. There's a look at the pitch out play. Good blocking. Nice job by was number 76 there, Tony Castillo.
3rd and 7. Zerfas is right. Wojak is left. The pitch, Davis.
Great defensive
tackle.
play.
Rob Michelich, the tackle making the stop. They had to string it out, and Michelich with the key tackle. That'll bring up 4th down. And this would be a long field goal if they tried it, about a 37, maybe a 38-yarder.
The Elgin Larkin defense badly needed someone to come up with a big play, and answering the call, number 88, Robert Michelich. You saw the play. Outstanding job. And I think Streamwood, they're too far away for a field goal, too close to punt, so 4th and 10. Let's see if David Skibby puts the ball up in the air for the first time.
Long count, and they gave it to the up back. I believe that was Condon that got it.
Pretty conservative call. Dave Smiley elects to go with a run up the middle to his sophomore running back, Chuck Condon. Does not fool the Larkin defense. Good job at the inside of the line. And Elgin Larkin will take over the ball. 8:17 left. Plenty of time. They've got all their timeouts left. 2-point lead for Streamwood. I think we're looking for a pretty exciting finish, Bert.
Yes, we are, and a bit of a breeze at their back should they decide to go up top here. They're down by 2 points.
Yeah, and that's a good point. All those missed 2-pointers by Streamwood has left the lead at only 2, so Elgin Larkin with the field goal potential to take the lead.
Damon McDaniel, the sophomore, shown us a good arm tonight. They pitch it to Pooh White on 1st down, and Pooh has to cut it back toward the inside. Hit hard by Davis. Walter Davis, boy, last week Dave Smiley just played him one way, and that was on offense, and tonight he's playing him on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
You know, right now it's crunch time. You play your best players, whoever they are. You see the Streamwood unit right now defensively. That's the guys Coach Dave Smiley wants in. As this is a big drive right now. Big series for the Elgin Larkin offense. They got to get some points on the board.
Pooh with 6 on the carry. 2nd and 4. Pooh White again. Hit hard. Boy, Dom Feta just lowered the shoulder and leveled Pooh White. Pooh picked up a couple, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 3.
Talk about having a nose for the ball. That is Dom Feta, number 44, where Pooh White has been. That's where Dom Feta's been tonight. Great job. And again, it looked like White lost his footing. We've seen both him and Davis struggle a little bit with the footing on the field. So that's affecting both runners' ability, particularly when they want to make that cutback move.
3rd and 3. Perales is the up back. Pooh White behind Perales. I think he'll be very close. Jason Sims made the initial stop. Pooh White used one blocker, and
that's 150-pound Jason Sims bringing down 215-pound Pooh White. And what a great game. Number 35 is playing on the defensive line. He's the captain, the guy taking the signals.
And he did pick up a 1st down, not by much, but they didn't have to measure, so 1st down and 10 for the Royals. They're down by 2, and it's crunch time here in the 4th quarter. We're halfway through the 4th quarter. It is 18-16 Streamwood.
And if they keep the ball on the ground like they are, that clock is going to wind down pretty quick.
Pooh White to the outside, stringing it out. Across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Jason Sims had a shot at him, and Pooh went by him.
Walter Davis, his running back counterpart, finally brought him down. But you're right, Pooh White doing a good job of avoiding the first tackler. A lot of guys would have gone down there. White, nevertheless, picking up 4 yards.
2nd and 6, timeout. The timeout situation, the Sabres with 2, the Royals with all 3. Pooh White with a blocker. Still going, Walter Davis in the secondary.
Big
Brought him
game
down
by
at the
Pooh
45.
White, but there is a flag, and I believe that's going to come back.
Yes, it will.
Ooh, what a tough call against Elgin Larkin, because that was a great gain, left-hand side by White. Streamwood fans like the call, Pooh White doesn't.
Get another look at it. Well, if you forget about the penalty, the run was an excellent run, and what did they call it? Did they call motion?
I believe so. Great blocking that time, too, as nobody in the black jerseys even laid a hand on Pooh White until he was knocked out of bounds.
That's the call, illegal motion against the offense. Well, that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
After the 2nd down and 10 for the Royals. 2nd and 10.
And so far, Bob Krieger very reluctant in this possibly final drive for Elgin Larkin to let his young quarterback put the ball up in the air. At some point, you got to believe they got to pass the ball here.
Pooh White.
Pooh White, the ball carrier.
Nice pickup of
Tackled by
7, perhaps 8 yards on the play. Boy, running straight ahead, they're going to their money player, Pooh White. There is an injured player out on the field with 4:53 to go.
Man down. Go, Ken.
And John Hallmark will have to come out, coming off under his own power, so he looks like he's okay.
It helps stop the clock, though, for Elgin Larkin, and they're running the ball, but they're using up an awful lot of the clock, and they're going to need to march a long way.
All right, they send Salinas to the left here. 3rd down and 3. Perales with a 1st down at the 43-yard line.
Kevin Crown, number 52. He's one of the few two-way players that Streamwood has. Crown playing on both the defensive line and offensive line. Nice job by number 52. Clock continues to dwindle, so it looks like Larkin is putting all their eggs in this final drive.
4:10 in the 4th quarter, 18-16 Streamwood. Pooh White still going. He ran into 3 or 4 players. Rory O'Donnell in on the stop, down Feta, and he bobbled the exchange. That football almost popped loose, and he did a good job to hold on to the football.
You know, and that's a key right now, obviously, to avoid the turnover. That would be a killer. A painfully slow march right here by the Larkin Royals, but nevertheless, they are moving the markers and slowly bringing the ball downfield. It's at the 47 now, their own 47, so still a long way to go. Not exactly your classic final drive, but they are getting it done.
Clock stops for an equipment adjustment. All right, 3:20 to go. Pooh White to the outside. Across the 50, down to the 40, to the 35-yard line.
Did not get out of bounds, so the clock, oh, now they got the clock stopped.
Well, they will move the chain so the clock will stop.
No holding that time, or no offsides that time, so that's the biggest play of the drive here. Now they are in Streamwood territory, and the game's starting to tighten up now as we get under the 3-minute mark. Larkin on the drive, neither team using their timeouts yet. Pressure starting to build here on both sides. Larkin again has to avoid the turnover right now.
First down and 10 inside the 35-yard line. Fullback. And that was Dan Peschow. Peschow in for Perales. Perales taking a breather, and Peschow, I believe, his first carry of the night, John.
Boy, and what a pressure situation for his first carry. And Peschow, behind great blocking by the offensive line, comes through. You saw the clock temporarily stop for the chains. Now it runs again, and suddenly Streamwood starts to get worried. And now Streamwood is going to call, I believe. Nope, that was just the defensive signal. Thought they were signaling for a timeout, but Larkin on the move, and if they do score, Streamwood's not going to have much time to respond.
First down and 10. Perales is in motion. Pitch out to Pooh White. Pooh White to the outside, inside the 20 to the 19. Jason Sims made the stop. Chess game going on here with the clock. We're going to go under 2 minutes. The Royals,
like a game of dare right now. Who's going to call timeout first? Streamwood used up one of theirs, so they've only got 2 timeouts left. Larkin has, I believe, all 3 of their timeouts left, and don't forget, we still have only 1 minute and 40 seconds to decide our TCI Illinois player of the game.
Peschow and Pooh White, the 2 backs, and it goes to Pooh White to the outside, out of bounds at the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. The clock stops with 1:25 to go in the 4th quarter.
There's a good look at number 12 doing yeoman's work tonight, offensively, defensively. He's been kicking also, punting and kicking, so another great game for number 12. He is the senior leader of this Elgin Larkin team. You can see there, he's catching his breath. He is tired, but there is no tired right now. With 1:15, neither team stopping the clock. Interesting strategy here. It's all going to come down to this final drive, and now it's 1:07 clock going, and now the flag comes up. This could be a costly penalty.
Flag on the play, preliminary signal encroachment against the Sabres.
Looks like it's against Streamwood, maybe for encroachment, so that's a costly 5 yards.
That's what it is, and you know, John, Jason Sims lined up as the nose tackle, and he lined up in the neutral zone, and they called him for the penalty.
Man, what a time to get that call. Number 1, it puts them 5 yards closer to the end zone. I believe they're on the 6-yard line. And number 2, it stops the clock. Larkin does have all their timeouts left, so actually they're looking good right now, and I believe it's Streamwood that's got to start calling the timeouts.
First down and goal from the 6-yard line. The Royals down by 2 points. This drive started at their 20. Perales.
Not that time. Don Feta, Kevin Crown, and a host of others. Don't forget the Streamwood defense all game long. Once the ball gets inside the 10, it's like it's a different group of guys. They really stiffen up. 56 seconds left, and Larkin calls the time.
Late in the game, the Sabres lead it by 2. We'll be right back.
DMX subscribers, if you've been waiting for the DJ remote, TCI has it. If you're not a DMX subscriber, what are you waiting for? Digital Music Express is a cable service that hooks up to your stereo tuner and delivers 30 channels of CD quality music. No commercials, no disc jockeys, or interruptions of any kind. Just 24 hours of non-stop music. And now, with the DJ remote, you can identify the song and album that you're listening to.
All right, we are back, 2nd and goal from the 5. 56 seconds left in the 4th quarter. The Royals give it to Pooh. And Pooh trying to string it out. He won't go anywhere that time.
What a play by Dom Feta, number 44. He's done it all game, and that was the biggest play of the game. Pooh White takes it on the left side, and a lot of black jerseys around, but I believe it was number 44 who was the one who really held him up. And I'll tell you, this Streamwood defense, it's like they become different once that ball gets inside the 10. There's Feta knocking off the block. He holds him up, and then number 10 finishes him off, Tony Gagliana. Great play by the Streamwood defense. And now they have 2 plays left, but don't forget the possibility of the field goal here. So pressure's got to be mounting on the sidelines for the Elgin Larkin field goal kicker. 3rd and 6. Elgin Larkin has 1 timeout left. Here comes a big call. Do you give it to Pooh White, who everybody's keying on? Do you give it to Perales up the middle, nobody expecting that? Don't forget you got Damon McDaniel, your quarterback, who can run too. What a surprise that would be to fake it to White and let McDaniel roll out.
3rd and goal from the 7. Well, they might want to set up their kick here now. The ball.
This is what it's all about right here. High school football at its best.
It's on the left hash, so a few options for them here. They want to go to the air. McDaniel to the end zone. Oh! Incomplete. Art Salinas had a shot at it. He had to go down to catch it. It was off his fingertips. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
The pass was pretty good, and Art Salinas having a tough game tonight, at least on the offensive side. The Sabre fans happy about it. What a call. They let the young sophomore pass the ball here. Great call, and that pass was there. Salinas just dropped it. Tough break for number 23. Now what does Larkin do? Have to see if they got their field goal kicker in. A great call, showing confidence in your sophomore quarterback. They haven't passed hardly at all. First pass of that drive, and McDaniel put it right on the spot. Salinas just flat out dropped it. Boy, Dave Smiley right now pacing the sidelines. He's thinking about those 3 2-pointers that they missed. 3 touchdowns Stream would have scored, but they've only got 18 points on the board. All 3 of their 2-point attempts went awry, and that's the reason right now that a field goal can win the game for Elgin Larkin.
Here's Dave Smiley.
He's a little pumped up, I would say. What are we doing now? Are we kicking her? And they are going to kick.
And
seems to be an inordinate delay. Looks like Streamwood may call the timeout and let the Elgin Larkin kicker think about it. That's a good psychological strategy out of the free throw timeout to ice the free throw shooter. So a lot of coaching strategy going on. Elgin Larkin. Now Streamwood, I think, could even call another timeout and delay the game even more. Make the Elgin Larkin field goal kicker think some more about this kick. 42 seconds left, so if the kick is good, it does not leave the Streamwood offense too much time. You see the Larkin team huddling up there.
So they will try for a lead here. They will try for the lead with the field goal. Matthew Gimpert, a 5'10", 165-pound senior, is in to attempt this kick.
So after all the great plays on both sides of the ball, after all the hard hitting and hard running, it is this guy here that will decide the outcome, Matt Gimpert.
26 yards, treated to hold. The kick is up. It is good.
He comes through, and they're going wild on the Larkin sidelines. Streamwood players in disbelief, but Elgin Larkin fans love it. What a clutch kick by Matt Gimpert.
An 80-yard drive. And look at the reaction of the Larkin players after that kick.
Absolute bedlam on the sidelines. The Larkin players love it. All congratulating Matt Gimpert, and what a final drive it was. There's the kick. There's the reaction. He knew it right away. Didn't even have to look at the end of it. Pretty confident kick. And was he the one who missed one earlier? I believe it was the same kicker, so they called a timeout to ice him. He had missed a kick earlier. Pressure situation. Number 20, Matt Gimpert, comes through. Now it's a pretty depressed Streamwood Sabre team that will try for a run back. Don't forget they did break one earlier in the game. What a ball game. And what a drive that was by Elgin Larkin. They started all the way back on what, about their 20-yard line?
Yes, they did, from their 20, and
there was 8 minutes and 15 seconds left when they got the ball, and now there's 37 seconds left. That's what I call ball control. And now
Pooh White, our TCI of Illinois player of the game, playing both sides of the line, 170 yards this evening, 1 touchdown, and as far as momentum and adrenaline, he really excelled at that tonight for Larkin.
How about as a workhorse? 32 attempts for a 5.3 average. We're not talking about a guy who just ran 8 or 9 times. 32 attempts, played the inside linebacker spot defensively, kicks off and punted. Not a bad all-around performance by an outstanding senior for Elgin Larkin, Pooh White.
37 seconds left. That's Davis. And Davis, a good run out to the 38-yard line. It looked like maybe his knee touched when he first picked up the football, but he gets out pretty good field position.
Don't forget now, we've got David Skibby, the backup quarterback, who will have to do the passing. Streamwood with at most 1 timeout. So they've got to go to their sideline patterns. It does not look good for the black jerseys. I'm sure Elgin Larkin will be in their prevent defense.
19-18 Larkin, 20 seconds and ticking here in the 4th quarter. Skibby to the air, incomplete. It was intended for Adam Surface, who has not caught a pass tonight. In his defense, they really have not thrown to him tonight. And is that a flag I see in the secondary, or that's just the tee that they were picking up?
The clock was at 31 seconds. Now it's down to 15 seconds, so some time ran off there.
2nd down.
Streamwood's got to go a long way in a short amount of time. Unless they hit the big play here, this ball game is over.
Skibby blitzes on. They set up a screen in the flat to Davis. Davis toward the center of the field.
He gets to the sidelines.
To the 50, to the 40.
Oh!
5 seconds. The clock will stop so they can move the chains. And I believe they just spent their last timeout. Yes, they did. With 5 seconds left.
No lack of excitement in this game as Walter Davis about a tackle or 2 away from breaking it. And if he scores on that play, Bert, the sidelines go absolutely berserk here right underneath us on the Streamwood side. They're not giving up. 5 seconds left. Obviously only 1 play left. Not a bad call. The screen pass to Davis started out on the left side, and he cut it all the way back across the field. See if we get a look at it here.
You see him cutting it back, and sometimes you'd like to get out of bounds, and sometimes the player just has to go with his instinct, and that's what he did. So they have time for 1, if they're lucky. I guess if they're lucky, 1 play. If they're unlucky, 2.
Well, the key play of this game might have been that fight that occurred back at the end of the 3rd quarter, because at that point, Michael Holte, the starting quarterback, still in the ball game, and Streamwood was on a roll. That kind of stopped their momentum, and now, final play of the game.
Skibby sacked. Joe Yokohama with the sack, and that ends the football game. The Royals, with a late drive, defeat the Streamwood Sabres by the score of 19-18, and they are going wild out on the field.
I believe the Streamwood team is not going to shake hands. There's an interesting call. Dave Smiley has sent his team to the locker room. Maybe he's not happy with some of the late hits or what, but not the best display of sportsmanship. You saw Bob Krieger right there, but the Streamwood players going directly to the locker room.
So the final score, the Royals win it by the score of 19-18. We'll be back.
Every 15 seconds, a woman in this country is beaten by her spouse or partner. I'm Aurelia Paczynski, clerk of the circuit court. Domestic violence crosses over all racial and economic lines. This order of protection pamphlet provides important information on how victims can protect their rights. You can obtain this pamphlet free of charge from a clerk's office domestic violence coordinator at any courthouse location, or you can call 312-443-4732.
are back 19-18. Final John Cone, a thrilling finish to this football game. We saw really everything you could see in a high school football game, including the fight, and that may have played a big part in the outcome of the game.
Well, the fans for sure got their money's worth. Very exciting game here in Memorial Stadium. Great win for Elgin Larkin. About as tough a defeat as you can possibly take for the Streamwood Sabres. There you see the happy winning team. Great game, the winning field goal kick, and I agree with you. I thought that fight, the stoppage of play, stopped Streamwood's momentum, and that might have been the turnaround of the game. But either way, a super game and a big win for those guys right there, the Elgin Larkin Royals.
Royals go to 1-3, 1-3 in the Upstate 8. The Sabres now go to 2-2. That'll do it tonight. Our thanks to our statistician Jay Farber, our TCI crew as usual. For our director Ken McCarthy and John Cone, I'm Bert Groner. Good night from Memorial Stadium in Elgin.